whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gotta be biblical.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Patriots Across the Pond and Friends, episode 63 with Stu and Elisa. And today we are going to have such a fun show because we are welcoming Anthony CHEFY DAMIANO, who has quite an amazing history as being a chef and restaurateur, but also he was the executive chef for Mar-a-Lago for 6 years, and we are going to hear a lot about that experience, particularly looking at the softer side and the warmer side of President Trump. Welcome, Anthony.
Welcome.
Hello, it's great to be here.
So happy you can make it. So I'm going to just indulge me. I'm going to just read a little bit about your bio, which is very impressive for anybody who likes food. Anthony has enjoyed a successful career for over 35 years in the restaurant industry. He began his career at La Serenata as a dishwasher. Since then, he has excelled in the industry, having worked at Maxime's, The Pierre, American Express Corporate Dining as Assistant Vice President of Food and Beverage, The Russian Tea Room, chef owner of Damiano's restaurant in Florida, Mar-a-Lago, Le Cordon Bleu chef, De Cuisine restaurant operations, world master chef, and director of food and beverage. He's owned and operated Damiano's at the Terramore House, a 4-star restaurant situated in a beautifully restored home located in the heart of the historic district in Delray Beach, Florida. Damiano has made his mark on the Florida culinary scene with a distinctive Florasian style of cooking, which he traces back to the time spent in San Francisco with Barbara Tropp in her restaurant China Mood. This style fuses his passion for Oriental flavors and techniques with Florida's bountiful seafood and tropical produce. After the sale of his restaurants, he joined the Trump Organization as Donald Trump's executive chef at the historic Mar-a-Lago, his exclusive private club in Palm Beach, Florida. Formerly executive chef in New York's Russian Tea Room, where he worked with Jacques Pepin. He was a participant in Rising Star Chef at the prestigious Masters of Food and Wine culinary event in Carmel, California in 1993. Other career highlights include an internship at Maxime's in Paris and a position as corporate executive chef for Shearson Lehman Brothers in New York. He has also been showcased as presenting chef at the James Beard House in New York 3 times. During his tenure at the Terramore House and throughout his career, he has received numerous accolades and national press coverage, including Bon Appetit Magazine, Gourmet Magazine, Zagat, Survey Best, New Restaurant in America, 1994, and TV Food Network, where he appeared on TV's Diners Unwrapped, Ready, Set, Cook, The Best of Food and Wine. He is recently inducted into the World Master Chef Society. He was the chef de cuisine of restaurant operations at Le Cordon Bleu, Scottsdale Culinary Institute, chef owner of Counterculture, Vero Beach, a healthy plant-based restaurant with many options. Chef of the Year 2024, Treasure Coast. Wow.
Wow. That is an impressive resume.
It really
is. 150 years old.
I noticed it hasn't got on their laptop repair.
No, it hasn't. So, if you don't mind, I'd like to tell everyone how we met. So me and my family went down to Vero Beach back in May, last month, and 2 months ago actually. And we always look for plant-based restaurants where the whole family isn't plant-based, but we're very healthy and I'm pretty much plant-based. So we always kind of start there. And my daughter actually found the restaurant and she builds the itinerary. So we went there. So when we went, there's absolutely adorable and charming restaurant. And we were just blown away by the food. Even the presentation, the dishes, the colors, everything was just so lovely. And then we got to talking and we realized we were both on the same team politically, with President Trump and MAGA. And I thought, well, gee, this is a man who's done a lot, because you told me you had been an executive chef at Mar-a-Lago. And I thought that would be a really fun show for our podcast.
Yeah, well, it was, and it was an amazing experience. And it was back in the millennium when I was with him. I started in '99, and my wife Lisa got to experience Mar-a-Lago that night because his kindness, of course, through the director Bern Lemke, all the managers and executive team, their wives were there for New Year's Eve. So she got to meet Melania, got to meet President Trump. And of course, she's also a fan, big fan, and as I am. And it just, to see that side of him and the kindness and how attentive he was to his children. They were all teenagers back then. Yes. They were in and out of the kitchen at times. Donnie Jr. had just started college. Eric liked to fish. So it was just an amazing experience, and there's not much else to say about it, But he was very, almost on a weekly basis when he would fly in on the weekends on Friday evenings, and he'd want to know exactly what was going on. He'd want to know how the staff is doing. He'd want to know who was going to be there this weekend, who was getting married, because he made a concerted effort to visit each of these people and congratulate them or at least greet them. So it's, unfortunately, it's a side that people don't see, and that kind side and compassion. And forget about Melania. I mean, she's just sweetest, kindest, inside and out. Just amazing. I mean, there's not much else that we can say. Very classy, very just amazing. Amazing.
This is now, you're originally from New York, is that right?
Yes. Yeah, I was born in Italy, came over with my mother on the Andrea Doria. My dad was an American citizen. And we came over, landed in the harbor, and the history is just there. It just was amazing, from a small town and now to the point that we've gotten to. They had the American dream, and they completed the American dream. And I think one of the proudest days my dad had was when I got to the Russian tea room. We thought that was the epitome, and then, of course, opening restaurants and having fun and creating different cuisines. But the epitome was Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, I want to ask you. So you come from, you lived in New York, right? So I think we probably share somewhat. Because I'm from Queens and, now live on Long Island. We sort of had a little bit, I want to say it that way, a little bit of an insight into this man, because we were locals and he was one of us, so to speak. And we would hear the local stories about the kind things he did and how he helped people. And it didn't really make the news. Right?
It did. Yeah.
Never did. Then we would see Ivanka. I remember I saw her in an interview maybe 20 years ago. And she said how her father would take out the paper and he'd go through the local papers and he'd look for stories of people that were either downtrodden or needed help, and he would reach out. So we kind of knew this a little bit, right? Yeah. But I want to know, here you are, you're a chef, you already have a very wonderful career. So how did you end up at Mar-a-Lago? What did it feel like? Did you get a call? Did someone call you? Like, how did that happen?
Well, we had very popular restaurants in Palm Beach County, and many of our customers were members of Mar-a-Lago. So I have a feeling that it started that way, where they went to Bern Lemke, who was the director there for at least 25, 30 years. And he's now retired. But he actually approached me, asked me to come in. And we did a little cooking. And then we basically worked out the arrangement and the contract. And it was great. It was really great.
Wow. That
So
must have been really exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting. It was slightly stressful because everything had to be perfect. You can't make a mistake. You could, that was the main crutch of it, was that it's just that. It's the ultimate of no boo-boos, no mistakes, so that pressure and stress is worse. I'd rather have the number stress sometimes, hit food cost, hit payroll cost. But it was an amazing experience, and to have done the types of banquets that we did, and then so many charity events that were done there, that he was very supportive of. And again, that doesn't come out either, and it should. I love when I see posts where he's with his grandchildren now and his granddaughter. And, that's the side of President Trump that we're not seeing enough of. Can't even imagine what the job is like. Just can't even imagine. But, now he's got the second time to really finish off what we started.
Third.
Mm-hmm. well, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit off the back about certain things, weren't we? Military operations. We will.
Yes, we were 17.
Yeah, we will get into, because you said your wife and yourself had worked in 17 restaurants together, didn't you? Just pull that number straight out of the air.
We've opened 17
together. 17 restaurants together. See,
we're very happily married. Yes.
Yeah, and it's amazing. As soon as you said that, my ears pricked up. Lisa went, "That's a good number," and we were on that track. But if we can just go back, I mean, let's talk about the history, because Trump has only sort of been into this the last 10 years, and people heard about that before. But were you always conservative? Who had you voted for before?
It's interesting that you asked, because at one point I felt that it would be necessary to say that I grew up as a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up as a Democrat in a Democratic city.
A lot of us did.
Right. And one of those, Long Beach, Long Island, was one of the cities that everyone watched during the election, because we were I think it was 80% Democrat, 20% Republican. And all of a sudden in 72, the Republicans won in this little town, and no one could figure it out. I remember when Bobby Kennedy Sr. came to Long Beach when he was running for president with Paul Newman in the convertible coming down Main Street, and what's interesting to me, and again, this is my opinion, is the Republican Party has become kind of more what the Democratic Party was 40 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of shifts and changes. And
So
the good news,
very comfortable being Republican and being very MAGA, but my big thing is bringing up Kennedy again, this Make America Healthy Again.
yeah.
Very, very important. And that's why we do what we do. But let's go back, because I know Stu's got other questions about the past.
Well, I wanted to just add that you spoke about Long Beach. So Stu has only been to the United States once, back in April. And we had our event in, near Long Beach. It was actually in Lynbrook, but we were all staying at the Alegria Hotel in Long Beach. So that's one area that he knows a little bit, even though he's from England.
It was a great little town. I don't know what the politics are now, because I really haven't kept up with it. But one of the best parts about Long Beach is the train into Manhattan is 40 minutes. And you're right there. You're right in the middle of the city. So it was very convenient, even as a teenager, to go back and forth. And I always loved the city. I remember years ago, as a teenager, reading this article in the New York Times about the Russian tea room is being rejuvenated. And they brought this amazing French chef in. And I looked at my dad one day and I said, wow, wouldn't it be cool to be the chef of the Russian tea room?
Wow.
And yeah, and it came about. I get a call from a headhunter consultant in New York City saying there's a restaurant that's very interested in you. This was when I was at Lehman Brothers. And it just went from there. And
wow.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Very, very, very undercover, because I didn't know who the restaurant was. I didn't know the restaurateur, and they actually rented a small restaurant in the Village on a Sunday evening. And I was given the address, I was given an ingredient list, and I was asked to show up and cook for 6 people. And it was the owner of the Russian Tea Room, Rex Reed, Jacques Pepin, Pierre Fournet, Patricia Wells, Craig Claiborne was there. So, and that was my introduction dinner. And then I was offered the job. So it was kind of cool, and cooking for different stars and meeting different stars and doing different things back then.
And that was what year?
That was 1988.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That was like the high point of the city.
That was the high point of the city. That was the high point of everything. Going back a little bit to Lehman Brothers too, that was an amazing experience, being right on corporate suite and cooking for all of these gentlemen that were senior VPs. So I was actually on corporate suite. They had built a $32 million dining room. I had every piece of equipment every chef could dream of. Chefs from the city would come in to look at some of this equipment because it was one of a kind. When like combi ovens came about, Andre Soltner stops in. He goes, so it was really, really, really cool how everything worked out and how it all unfolded.
So you must have. So now we've got this experience with at the time Donald Trump, right? Because he wasn't president at the time. And can you tell us?
Respect, it was the Donald.
It was the Donald.
All
right?
about the Donald back then.
So what can you tell us? Like, what can you tell us about like a day in the life of working at Mar-a-Lago as an executive chef? Like, what did it look like? What can you talk about? We
had the main restaurant that functioned every day. Then we also had a small patio bar. We were he was in the process of building Trump International Golf Course at the time. But my day would consist of coming in, of course, greeting the staff, looking at the board. What events do we have? Do we have any parties today? Are we booking any parties? Because we would personally meet with the director of catering or the food and beverage director and plan different events, different parties, different weddings. And this was what he always wanted to know at our Friday evening chats. Who's here this weekend? Whose events going on, and so on and so forth. So then at that point of the day, I would be in the kitchen or I would be meeting with purchasing, doing ordering, and so on and so forth. By the afternoon, you're meeting with members or you're meeting with potential members, and then back in, ready for dinner. Now, if there were banquets going on, then my executive sous chef would be at the restaurant. I'd probably zip over to the banquet, which meant going through the tunnels. So it was quite interesting.
Now, were Donald and Melania like part of your role as executive chef? Was obviously for these events, for the guests, were the banquets including him? Were these like events?
Some of them would include him.
Okay.
But if it was a wedding, for example, and he was aware of it, which he was, because he knew everything that was going on all the time, he would pop into the wedding because he wanted to meet the bride. He wanted to greet them. And that was very often the way that the day would go. Or if there were guests and visitors, he would meet them into the main lobby or in the main room, sometimes into the grill.
Okay. And when your role is
more hands-on when he was there. If he wasn't playing back then, he was still playing tennis too. So it was tennis, it was golf, and then in between was all his meetings.
And when you cooked, that included for their personal, for them personally, like
it depends. If they were dining in their suite or his mother, Mary Trump at that point,
yeah,
they would either come into the main dining room and dine. They were always visible, always. And sometimes, yes, they would dine inside. But most of the time, they would dine in one of the areas, either the grill, the bar, or the main room.
And at that time, did the kids live there? Were they there part-time? Did it depend on the time of year with school?
It depended on the time of year with school. And they spent a lot of their time at Mar-a-Lago and some of the time with their mom, who's only a couple of blocks away.
Oh, so she was also in Palm Beach. Okay.
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool.
Wow,
and everything he ate is the truth. Really? I can't get too deep into it, but yes.
Well, I do want to ask you because
he loved my meatloaf and he loved the lasagna.
Everybody wanted to know of the dining room. What's dining room?
Yeah, see, that's where Lisa's chiming in now, and she's right. If he comes into the dining room, they would come in and sit down. Everyone would be asking, "What are they eating tonight?" So if he's ordering meatloaf, everybody ordered meat.
Oh wow!
But I did get him to try my 5-hour duck. Got him to try new foods, and that was a challenge.
Really, he has a certain way that he likes to eat, and you got him to try new things and experiment a little bit.
Absolutely, and then he'd go back to the things that he loved. Well, he's now the president, but back then he was the Donald, and he could.
Yes.
So exactly that. I mean, we've been, researching and watching everything Trump does for, over 10 years. And if you listen to certain people, all he drinks is Diet Coke and eats McDonald's, which is something we've all laughed about quite a while. Yeah. So
it's a story that I can't talk about, but yes, he does. And he loves cheeseburgers and bacon and so on.
Oh, God bless
One of the biggest challenges is, let's try to get him on a diet. No.
It's not happening. No.
He tried.
Bless him.
Can you tell us, a couple of your fondest stories of your time working there?
Probably the fondest of all of them was my first day, being a nervous wreck, and walking into this part of history that he has brought back in such a classy and beautiful way. Just thinking about going into the ballroom and the parties that Meriwether Post must have had in there, and now he's in there, he and Melania and the children. So it's that probably was one of the most impressive days. And then as time went on and you got more into the daily functions and the daily job, but it was always in a very positive mode.
Wow. And you said, because I remember, gosh, I think I could be wrong, but I think it was maybe before he ran for president, or maybe during that year, there was this video floating around. I think it was YouTube or something, Instagram, and they showed him at his hotels. Now, I don't know if it was Chicago or New York, and he would engage with the staff, and especially like the women who clean the rooms. And he's like, okay, so what are we doing here? And he would like vacuum. Obviously, he wasn't spending a whole day doing that, but he was engaging. So was that publicity, or was he that kind of guy that wanted to know what
he would go up to my cooks and ask my cooks, how's chef treating you?
Really?
Yeah. See him talking to the landscapers, see him talking to the servers, asking them, confiding with them. And I'm sure that he was very kind to some of them if they needed kindness. But yeah, that part is very true. And we saw it on a daily basis.
Yeah. Well, we see this. We know he is a man of the people. He loves America.
He is. He loves America. He loves all of us.
Exactly.
Otherwise, why would he do this? He doesn't need to do it.
Exactly that. So
he really doesn't. Yeah.
Obviously, you two have been, watching Trump a lot longer than I have over here, and everyone loved him. The rap songers used to sing about him. He used to have little roles in movies, all these sorts of things, and obviously he touted the idea that he might run for president many, many times before he actually did. But how did you feel when all of a sudden he actually went, I'm doing it now, started speaking the truth, you are fake news, and everyone turned on him? The many people in the mainstream media, many Hollywood singers, actors, all this stuff. What was that experience for you?
Horrendous.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrendous. Because I think, even putting him aside for a moment, anyone that would be attacked that way, that you cared about or you loved, you just don't get it. We still don't get it. We still question it. He's our president, and we should respect that.
Yeah, whoever our president is, we should.
Whoever the president is, you respect it to whatever extent you want, but not to this, and to the point that we have had attempts on his life. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrendous.
Well,
and because of the hate, I mean, there's hate that just doesn't need to be there.
Yeah. Well, I think people are going to find out there's been a lot more attempts on his life than what we've actually seen in public. And it is
I'm sure.
many, because obviously we discussed before what Trump is a part of, and this military operation we've all been investigating for a long, long time. You can understand how many people on the other side that turn against him, and how even elections have been stolen for 30, 40 years. People have been selected, not elected, and put into this place. And when he came in, and I think he had to play the game with what we've seen, to sort of almost pretend to be one of these people, to get inside them, get the information and all this sorts of stuff. And when he flipped on them and they knew he wasn't part of them, he's the spearhead of this military operation to take all this criminality down. And that is when we saw all the hatred and everyone turn against him.
And we still see it, unfortunately, on a daily basis. And it's really a disgrace. It's a disgrace as America, because, again, he's the president. Let's get behind him. Let's do what we have to do and get through things as best we can.
Yeah.
Well,
so
go on, Elisa.
I wanted to say, I know when we had a chance to chat down in Florida, you and I, and with George, you shared a lot about your health journey. And because I know that's very near and dear to you, especially now what they're doing, with a lot more rules and regulations. And
about 9 years ago, I think this is where I want to bring Lisa in with me a little bit. Come on, Lisa. Don't be shy. Okay.
Shy. I'm definitely not shy. I don't know why he keeps thinking I'm shy. He's known me for years. Hi. How are you guys? Sorry, I missed you at the restaurant.
Yeah, no, but we got your food, so
I'm glad you enjoyed. Did you have dessert?
Yes.
Good job.
Yeah.
The journey started when Lisa was diagnosed as pre-diabetic.
Yeah, pre-mild diabetes. And I'm a pastry chef, and my whole family's ridden with diabetes. Everybody, So what are you going to do? And I don't take pills. I don't take medicines. I feel like food is medicine, and I've learned that even more so. So I had to get him on the bandwagon, but I delved into whole food, plant-based. So not just plant-based, but whole food. So, we
really researched it.
Yeah, we really do. We try not to, I have heart disease in my family. He definitely has heart disease in his family. So we stay away from processed oils, any kind of oils. And we just eat super healthy. And you don't want to push that agenda on anybody.
I was just going to say, we don't force it. That's why there's choices.
It's all about choices.
One side of the menu will have whole food plant-based. The other side will be classic. So you can have a French dip with the most amazing brisket, or you can have a French dip with a portobello mushroom base. So it's all about choices and options. And it's more about freshness, organic, getting away from processed food.
Everything's made to order. We make all our own vinaigrettes. I do all the non-dairy cheeses. Obviously the desserts, and the desserts don't have butter. They don't have flour, eggs, cream, none of the above. I only make it with pure maple syrup that I actually get from a young lady in Vermont, has all these trees on her property, and she has a company that comes out and
another Patriot.
Yeah, definitely is. So I use her maple syrup. She ships to me, and medjool dates. So that's how I sweeten. If I do have to use flour, which is very unusual, but when I do, I use gluten-free, because I have a lot of gluten-free people that come into the restaurant that literally seek us out because we're either, we have gluten-free choices or we have dairy-free choices, which is just a great thing. And we keep having to say that, because as much as I and he would love to go, okay, let's be 100% whole food plant-based, that's how we feel, and that you should do this because it's so healthy and so good for you and you'll live forever. And as much as we'd like to do that, we don't push that. And we allow people to come in, because I got to tell you, 100% of our customers come in and go, okay, so we eat like kind of normal, but our granddaughter and our grandson, they're plant-based, and then our daughter, she's gluten-free, and so everybody can come to our restaurant and break bread. Gluten-free bread.
Yeah. And that's what was great, because we were traveling with my daughter's friend who has a gluten intolerance. So it was just so nice to be able to, like, everybody could just get what they want. And
I got goosebumps. That's what we're all about right there, right there. So it's very important.
Now I know Anthony, that you shared, I don't know if you want to share it, but you shared that you had some health issues and you became very healthy. And what was that journey like? Was that because of Lisa and or did you just both decide it's time?
It was a combination of things, because on my side of the family is also cancer, diabetes, obesity.
Both of our sides.
So
it's crazy.
It was time to, and I myself at one point, which we didn't talk, I don't think I mentioned, I was over 270 pounds at one point.
Oh, wow.
I stopped, and lost over about 110 pounds as of now, and kept it off for over 20 years.
Now that was back when he was at Cheerson.
And that's as a chef.
Was a long time
so it's
ago.
hard, because I love to eat. I see Stu. That's right. I love to eat, and we love a nice glass of wine once in a while, not all the time. But so it was important. In my numbers, my cholesterol, everything has dropped. I'm in my early 70s and no meds.
Me too. 63, no meds.
There's a lot to be said for it. And now that's why it's so important what's going on, because there was such a period of fast foods and processed foods, and so many of the chain restaurants using those products, then they were making us sick, and they were causing inflammation. So I think just as the MAGA movement, you have the MAHA movement, you have the plant-based movement is part of that, because that's the agenda he's pushing. And we've met and seen people that have gone whole food plant-based and cured their cancer.
Off their meds. No more diabetes, never taking insulin again. Their total cholesterol under 100. I mean, it's unbelievable when we say how we've read and we understand that food is medicine. And it's just so easy to make food your medicine, and nobody believed that. Well, if we take a pill and then we can also eat health. No, if you can really stop so many illnesses, and just stop them in their tracks if you just eat healthier, and that's just kind of how we believe, and we're living it somehow, some way. We're living that,
Yeah, you're sharing it.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely something we've all been doing, especially since COVID arrived, and we've all some of us have been, doing this truthing thing for a long time, almost 25 years, Lisa and I, different places. But it was when COVID came that we all really started to more.
We had time to research it, right? You had time to, you know, what do you do?
I mean, I've always made time, but a lot of people didn't, did they? They didn't use the time as they should have done. And many people went the other way. They didn't wake up at all. They just towed the government line and all these things. But, you know, people like Elisa and I, we looked at, you know, food. Well, I went vegetarian for 2 years. I tried that out. I've done many different things, but we distill our water. You know, we don't want to go to the hospital. We don't want to go to the doctors. We look at all the best foods. You know, I know they spray stuff on everything, but this is the main thing we've done. A lot of truthers over this last 6 years, especially.
That's cool.
It's been a big help with long COVID, because I was diagnosed with long COVID. And we've been battling that now for the last 4 years. But improving on my food choices has helped that immensely.
Yeah, you're so right, Lisa, that food is medicine. I mean, look at, like, it's only since maybe the 40s with big pharma, and all of a sudden, you know, for thousands of years, people are using herbal remedies, and right. I mean, like, now when we all get sick, what do? You know, it's like, well, you know, you have some lemon and honey and turmeric and cayenne, and and you do all these things daily. And
my big thing is, you're gonna laugh, and again, everybody's gonna go, oh, okay, vitamin C. But I kind of follow Chris Wark, and Chris beat cancer. And he put.
I know that, yeah.
What I love about him is I subscribe to, you know, I like to read things, and at one day I kept it, and I've shown all of my staff about just simply not only cancer, which is so important, but like when we get sick, a cold, the flu, you know, congestion, we start feeling that. He said he came home and his wife was a little and his kids were sniffling, and he was like, oh boy, and here this poor guy had beat cancer. So he started his regime of vitamin C, but not just the vitamin C that we pop, you know, from the stores. And, you know, that's such a small little amount. He really gets into, like, you know, the 5,000 milligram, crazy amounts, but and he tells you where you can get it, and he tells you how often to take it, because it can't hurt you. And I've got all my staff. I said, I'll buy it for you if you like. And they're like, no, chef, we'll get it. It's like $30. And I have them every time I hear a little, I'm like, what are you doing? Could get your vitamin C. Okay. Yeah, we got it. And they bring it to work, and we're all drinking our vitamin C. And it's getting it before it goes any further, you know? And it sounds so easy, you know.
It is,
but nobody.
It is. They make it complicated for us to have to do all this stuff, and then people run to the doctor. What is the doctor going to tell you?
Well, look what the Rockefellers did years ago. You know, about 100 years ago, they tried to pretty much eradicate all the holistic healing, all these cures, all these natural remedies and stuff, turn everything as a petroleum-based medicine and all that to corner the market. And this is why many people, and they don't want to cure people. Yeah, they want customers for life.
Right,
they want people on medication for life.
That's exactly right. Even these websites with diabetes, and this is how you should eat. And, you know, you can live with diabetes for the rest of your life if you eat this way and have this lean protein. And you're thinking, why would I want to live with diabetes? I want to get rid of diabetes. Oh, it's so easy to get rid of.
Tell me what you did with your brother.
My brother was at 10.2 A1C when I took him to the doctor a few years ago. And I was blown away, because, you know, the norm. And this one's at 4.8, you know, I'm right there, like 4.8, 4.9. And here's my brother at 10.2. And so, you know, we got him a nutritionist, and she's saying all the things that I've been telling him, but he didn't want to listen to me because I'm his little sister. And literally just started eating the correct way, eating more vegetable, eating everything. He went down in 2 months, Lisa. 2 months, he went down to 6.4.
Wow.
No,
I felt so much better.
On
insulin and everything.
So, you know,
we saw it right in our own family.
Right.
Yeah.
It can work.
Yeah. And, you know, I think somebody in the chat Shirley mentioned nicotine patches for long COVID.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. A friend of ours told us all about that.
We did that too.
Yes, he did that.
I still do it. Yep.
Yeah.
The last 6 weeks, I've actually gone to a Chinese doctor who also does acupuncture, but a very unique acupuncture, but also is doing some Chinese methods, different herbal patches, different herbal rubs, and I'm like improving like crazy.
She's
Every day
in
I'm actually
where is
feeling
she? She's in
better.
China now.
She's in China right now
with
for
a
month,
master Chinese.
learning even more.
Yeah.
So Stu, you're right. All this
crazy.
medicine, you know, they've been doing it for thousands of years.
Yeah, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's new to us, maybe, but it's not.
That's
new.
why, you know, the best part of counterculture on the beach is that people come up to us and go, I love coming here because when I leave, I feel great.
Yeah.
I feel great after eating your food. And I'm like,
That's
as a
huge.
chef, what else could you
You don't
ask
want to hear
for,
anything
you know?
other than that, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
We really don't. We have people that come in I have a couple that come in every day, and he would always come in and order regular meats and chickens and stuff. And she's like me, whole food, plant-based. She never pushed it on him. She never, nothing. None of us did. And one day he started eating one thing that she had, and he has never gone back. And then he started reading about chickens and abuse and
they're watching right now.
Nah, yeah. I don't know if they're watching. I think they might be liberal, so I don't know if they're watching.
No, I thought you meant Barry.
No,
Maryland.
I don't mean Barry, Maryland. They're already healthy. But yeah, so these other two, you know, I watched that happen, and it's been 1.5 years now. He's eating like her, and he said the other day, he goes, God, I just weird because when I eat, my stomach always hurts. And last 1.5 years.
Aside for a second.
Okay, run.
And you know, your great dessert.
1.5 years he's been doing it, and he's like, I don't have any stomach aches anymore. I feel great. You know, he eats that way now, and you know, it's hard. You either delve into it or maybe you try it. I always say, you know, if you don't want to delve into it and go 100%, go one day. Just eat nothing but plant-based, healthy. See how you feel. Next day, go back to your normal diet. You're gonna find the next week you're gonna do it one day. All of a sudden, you're like, God, I felt pretty good. Maybe I'll go 2 days next week, you know, and then inevitably you'll go 3 days and then maybe all week. And, you know, and people can transition this way. I went 100%. I got so scared about the pre-mild diabetes that I haven't eaten meat or cheese or chicken or eggs or any of that stuff since June of 2017. June 28th was the exact date. In-N-Out was my last burger. I was in Vegas. It was a friend of mine, and her and I had it, and then we went 100% the next day, and we've never looked back. So,
yeah, but you're right. It's a very personal journey, and
can't push it.
You can't push anything, and people have to follow their body, and they have to follow, you know, what. But you're right. To incorporate it is the best thing because then you know you're getting.
We all like to compare, you know.
What I love about what's going on is there's so much going on in the world, but how the administration is focusing on the healthy side and the healthy side of life. And that's something that
we haven't seen that.
We're not seeing it.
We've never seen that. I'm sorry. We've never seen that.
And we need to see more of it.
Yeah, this is
crazy. It just needs to be exposed.
Yeah, that's because the whole system has been designed to keep people ill. And what we're seeing with Trump,
controlling the population.
Exactly. With Trump, you can't, you need to dumb people down. This is why they've been putting crap in people's food, water, spraying us from the skies and everything for years. But what you're seeing is the reversal. And this has been going on for absolute decades. They can't do it overnight. So this is why you're seeing it rolled out slowly and then something else and something else. And people were saying to me a few years back, no, Trump's, you know, you don't want to be following him. He's out of it, you know, RFK. And I said, RFK Jr. is working with Trump. They've been working together for years. You just don't know it yet. A few months later, Trump
and then he was there. Exactly.
There you go. Now start paying attention. And what you were just saying about long COVID there, we have, you know, nicotine patches. We have got so much information come out from all the doctors that were the ones censored talking about all this stuff, you know, and the jabs and things like that. We have got so many natural, you know, they've lied to us completely about nicotine for a start. So many natural things people can do and protocols and stuff that is for the betterment of people. And I just want to say as well that anyone that, you know, doesn't want to go full vegan or whatever like that. There's a documentary that was out a few years back. It's called Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead. And there was two big guys that they just went juicing, didn't they, for 30, 60 days.
I love
all
that.
that good stuff. And then complete,
All around the country.
That's right.
one of them was a big fat Canadian trucker, wasn't it? And he completely got off all his medication and all these sorts of things. He reversed his diabetes. And you can find that on YouTube and stuff. Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead, I think it's called.
Good. That my turnaround was What the Health on Netflix. What the
Yeah,
Health?
it's another great film.
Absolutely crazy that was. It starts totally out
What
with the
was one with
diabetic.
all the athletes.
Oh, Game Changers. That's
Game
another
Changers.
really good one. You know.
Yeah.
Best athletes in the world.
Yeah, strongest man in the world.
Yep.
He's vegan. I mean, you know, the information's out there, and I find with people ask me like, oh, you know, you're 63. Oh, wow, you look like blah blah blah, and they want to know what you're doing. You know, and I'm whole food plant based. Oh, what?
They don't
what's
know
that
how old I am, but
Yeah.
they do ask.
I don't care. I tell them I'm 99. I'm going to tell you, I don't care. I'm proud of it. But yeah, no, those are some of the things. In fact, our shirts, I don't know if you see my shirt.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let us remain calm.
Oh, that's true.
So let us remain calm. And then we have What the Health, which is my favorite documentary of all time. Tony Scott, Unbeatable. We have all our shirts have a message, you know, Plant Strong, Plant Bros. All my kitchen staff wears Plant Bros, you know, and a lot of some of these we get from Rip Esselstyn and Dr. Esselstyn's group, because they have some really great, like kale. Yeah. You know, they have some really great sayings. So I always ask them, you know, if can we borrow those, because we want to put them across our chest and we want to be proud. And,
Right.
you know, so people love our shirts and they come in and it's kind of fun. You know, it's one step closer to you asking me, what are you doing? You know, and then let me tell you what I'm doing.
Well,
you
one
know?
of our customers that is an extreme patriot, Michelle, and you'll see me sipping out of the mug, so I thought I'd bring it up close.
Yeah, she gave us this mug.
Oh,
I love when I wake up and Donald Trump is my president.
You gave it to us
She
right
gave-
after the
right
election.
after the election.
aw.
Both of it.
Yeah.
So I have. Go ahead.
I just want to say as well, when I saw your restaurant was called Counterculture, I thought that was absolutely brilliant. We've heard so much about cancel culture and stuff like that. And to counter that, I just thought that was a beautiful, beautiful thing. Very patriotic, MAGA, that was.
That's exactly why it was done. 11 years ago, though. We were ahead of our time.
Yeah.
those-
Well, you know,
We were.
we don't. I even said something to somebody yesterday. She ordered a salad and then she came back and after she got it. She goes, you know what? I forgot to order chicken, and that's kind of my fault. You know, I should say, would you like any protein with that? I'm not. I don't like to upsell. I don't want to push. I'm not pushing. You're looking at the menu. I'm making it
Sure.
clear. If you want it, you order it. You know, and so and I said, oh, absolutely, absolutely. So I was starting to think about that. Counterculture is it's a movement. So there are other countercultures in the country, not very many, maybe 7 or 8, and nobody has the same mission. Everybody's got, you know, there's one that's barbecue in Texas, and there's another one that does breakfast, lunch, and dinner in New Mexico and California. But everybody's different. Our mission is counterculture. You come up to the counter, okay, and whoever's at that register has a plethora of information. And whatever you need, there's so many dietary needs and habits and concerns and allergies. And my staff has to, you can't even go on the register until you know how to handle that. It's just, it's a thing. And so you come up, you get all the information. We structure the menu so that if you have any questions, ask us now. Then they order, get their drinks, pay, whatever. If they don't want to pay, they can pay after. They sit down and nobody's haunting them at the table. Everybody's trying to upsell. Oh, you want to get dessert? Oh, you know what? They saw the dessert menu, and I sell more dessert in this restaurant than I have in all 17 restaurants that we've ever done. I can't tell you how many desserts I sell, because while you can have your dessert and eat it too, you're not taking in all this sugar and you're not taking in this crap that goes into our bodies and just feeds our fat and our diabetic, you know, none of that. And counterculture is a movement to us. And that's what it's all about, you know, letting us do
Stu
that.
had a point.
I love
we're
that.
going against the old culture.
Absolutely.
The new culture is to be healthier, but you know, we don't want to ram it down your throat either. It's your choice.
And it's
Make
hard.
the right
It's
choice.
hard not to ram it down the throat, but I don't. I won't get on my soapbox. I try not
Be around. I want to see my grandsons graduate college.
and weddings.
and
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, just on the opposite side of that, this has worked perfectly for you, hasn't it? I mean, I went vegetarian for 2 years, and then I mean, all the vegetarian stuff you cook is beautiful and fresh and stuff. Some of the stuff I was eating, biting into a meat slice and stuff like that, and I was thinking, I don't know what this is I'm eating. And then I started delving into that and looking into that sort of agenda and the people who were behind all this fake meat and fake burgers.
That's right.
Was the usual suspects, Bill Gates and all these other people. So I came away from that. And then someone just said, and we've looked into this as well, that who is it? Buddha Cab in the chat. What about the carnivore diet? People have had great success on this way of eating, and some people do. I mean, we're all different, aren't we? But the whole point is we've all got to take our own health into our own hands and not keep going to the doctor and not demanding pills because you feel ill. If you're feeling ill, you're probably eating the wrong stuff.
There
Right?
you go. Right.
Exactly. Yeah, and people don't know how to read labels either, you know.
No,
I mean,
that's a hard one too.
When
that's a very hard one.
Blue, that was one of my big things,
We
was
would teach
teaching this younger generation how to read a label and what not to eat and what not to do.
Yeah.
So, very true what you're saying. Very, very true.
I mean, I tried to teach my kids pretty young. It's just become a joke. Not so much now because she's a little older, but like a couple of years ago, we'd go into the store. She was like 16, and she would pick something up that looked good, you know, and then throw it back and go, well, you ruined that for me.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, for so long,
so true.
Deli meats, turkey, sliced chicken, they're all healthy. No, it's as bad as eating a burger. It's, you know, but if you're going to eat an Impossible Burger, you might as well just have a regular beef burger.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry,
Right. The saturated fat in that.
The saturated fat, you're right
the
there.
Three top ingredients are 3 different oils. I mean, it's, you know
That's
how
the oils. They don't understand that. Like,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, I shop like Trader Joe's or those places, and I struggle to get a chip, right? Sometimes you just need a chip. And it's like everything has oils. And you're like, all right, you know what? I can't.
Buy corn tortillas and air fry
Them. 5 minutes at about
no
3.
Oil, no nothing, just
really?
About 360, I put in my air fryer on. I have like a Ninja. And I put them in for 5 minutes, and those are crispy. I mean, a lot of times.
And there's a thin one. It says
get
thin
the ultra
on the
thin.
Get the
it's called Mission or something.
And what do? You cut them up, like, and you throw them
up like a tortilla chip.
Oh,
like I take 1 tortilla and then cut it in 4s and get 4 little pieces. And you know, I take them to the restaurant sometimes and put them in my purse, you know, and I'll dip a little bit into their wonderful salsa. But it's like, I know I'm not getting all that oil, you know. Yeah. I was told, you know, that with the oils, you're discarding the healthiest part. Let's say a walnut oil or an avocado oil, right? An olive oil. We're discarding the olives and processing what's left over. We're discarding the avocado and the walnuts and processing what's left. And so hence the processedness, which is, you know, one aspect. And then the other aspect is you're discarding all the healthy part of that and keeping that saturated fat. Yeah. Hence that, you know, olive oil is your best. It's about 98% saturated fat, whereas coconut oil, forget about it. So, you know, I didn't know that. Did you know that? You know, you learn these things and you go, all right, as much as I love oil and to put a little bit of this, a little bit, you know, we've learned to cook with water, balsamic, vegetable stock. We make our own vegetable stock. And so what do you cook instead of using oil? Well, we throw that in the pan, we get it hot, throw our garlic in there, throw our onion in there, saute it, and make our broccoli rabe or whatever, and not have to put that oil in there. So it's a learning curve. And I mean, especially for, you know, 73rd master chef in the world over here, I thought it was going to kill me when I'm like, we're going plant-based. That's all I'm saying.
It's aged.
It definitely has aged. He's got gray hair now. So from me, 100%.
I like the fact that choices, because as you were saying, when you went vegetarian/vegan, a lot of those products, I mean, we see fat vegans.
Yeah.
No, it shouldn't be. But some of that is
Oreo cookies, Reese cups. Those are all plant-based. Does that mean that that's a healthy thing for you to eat?
Right.
Well, they're vegan.
You know, they're vegan. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they play around. You know, they play around with you know, with the
They're still trying.
They're throwing that out there and trying to trick us
Yep.
in the grocery stores on those labels again, you know, but
Yeah.
the labels are truly telling us what's in this, and you have
Yeah,
to look at the label.
I've got a pretty basic rule, really, that if it's got 4 more ingredients in it on the package, I'll put it
That's
back.
awesome. Yeah,
There you go.
that's
right.
a rule to
That's
live by.
fabulous.
What's happened to people is that people's lives have become so busy, especially with the feminist movement, about taking the women out of the home and that, and you know, everyone's got to work and do this, and then when it's just people are eating and living for convenience, you know,
Right.
people don't have the time to cook for themselves, which is what you do because you have 3 or 4 or 5, 6 different ingredients that have one thing in them, and
Right.
you mix them together and cook it yourself rather than convenience someone. But then it's got 30 ingredients, you don't know what they are. They're just numbers and oils and all sorts
Right.
of
You
stuff.
can't even pronounce them. That's why these poverty-stricken areas in the country, you know, you find a lot of fast food because it's convenient, it's cheaper. You know, you have a family of 4 and you've been working all day and you're a single mom, you know, go to McDonald's and pick up a few things and the kids are going to love it. Unfortunately, you're killing them. You're not, you know what I mean? You're just poisoning. And when you could, vegetables are so cheap. Beans are so cheap. Rice is cheap. Pick that up, make that, and make a nice little meal out of that. But you know, it's a lot. And are we
Well,
going
it's
to
just the advertising and the brainwashing,
That's right.
and you know, I mean, and then you go into the supermarket, right? And then if you have any knowledge, then you know you want to get organic, which is just a joke that you have to buy organic. It should all be organic, but okay. And then, you know, if a mom picks up the flyer, right, and they're on a budget, and then you see what's on sale because you're trying to save money, it's always the cheap shit. And if you want to buy organic, it's going to cost you more. Now, in the end, but if you only have so many dollars, you have to make that unfortunate choice.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's why you put those vegetables or those fruits in its own little basin at a dollar store and fill it up with water. 1 to 99%. 99% of water, 1 part salt. You soak that, you know, just kind of rub it a little bit,
And
soak
that
that,
gets the
boom,
pesticides
rinse
off.
it, and it gets the pesticides off. And you're not, you know, if you can't afford organic, then do that.
I heard baking soda too, a little bit of baking soda.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is as well, isn't it? In this day and age, it doesn't matter if it's got organic on the package, unless you actually know where it's sourced from.
That's so true.
You don't know it is organic at all.
I know.
Back to growing our own gardens. That's how I
Well, that would be nice if everyone had the time and that little bit of land.
Yeah.
And then we jar September. Oh, grandma and mom.
Do you do the tomatoes?
We do the tomatoes, but the funny thing is we do eggplant.
Oh,
You had to squeeze the eggplant. So, of course, the eggplant discolors your hand. So you're walking around
Black hands.
with blackish purple hands.
purple.
But the eggplant was so good because we pickle it with spices, fresh garlic, and oil back then. Sorry, Lisa.
I know.
But, you know, my grandparents lived into their 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So they were doing something right.
And mine
They
did.
knew,
All
they
age
knew how to do it, right? You know,
Yeah.
we have to do like my sister does this every year, but because her mother-in-law came from Italy, so they would do the tomato. Stu, I don't know if you've ever heard of this. You get like the bushels of tomatoes, and it's a whole process that you take the skins off, you crush them, you make tomato sauce, and then you jar them, and then you have them for like the whole year.
Yeah.
So and it's, you know, it's not easy. It's like a whole day thing, but I think we should people talk about like sharing gardens.
Yeah.
I think we should have like our communities doing jarring, like whether it's tomatoes, whether it's the fruit, right? That's what our ancestors did.
That's
So
right.
they had a basement with like the masking tape, right? That they would put the date and everything. That's what we should.
Ball jars, right? The big
The
ball.
glass jars, none of this plastic shit.
Yep. Oh yeah.
True.
And now they have these things you can buy where you vacuum seal them. You can you can get that on like, you know, Instagram, and they're making it so much easier than the way it used to be.
But a lot of people are going back to that. And a lot of people are back to, especially in Florida, because we have 2 growing seasons pretty much. So you can grow almost all year round. There's a few months where it gets a little cold.
Yeah.
But it's fabulous that way.
Even down to soaking your own beans. I mean, we don't need to get canned beans. We can get regular beans and just put them in an Instapot and boom, you know, you're soaking your beans and you're getting it done quicker, and you know what you're getting. You've rinsed them really well, and hence, you know, any pesticides or whatever that may be on it. But I mean, how many people do that? It's just easier to go buy a can of beans, you know? So we do that with our soups. We make soups all the time. Every day we have a different soup. Crazy man over here.
Yeah, it's all fresh.
That's amazing. Well, I just want to say that in my little bit of research into you guys, I found a little 7-minute video on YouTube, and you said, Anthony, that I think you asked a question, what would you have done if you hadn't become a chef? And you said, I think I would have been a lawyer. I'd just like to say, I think you've made the absolute right choice there.
Thank you.
More people love him than they would if he was a lawyer.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah,
I tell the lawyers what I want them to do.
He really does. He's very good at this. And they're like,
That's very
okay.
sweet. Yeah.
That's
So I have a question.
I like what I do, and I tell everybody that I get up every day to feed you.
Yeah.
That's charge.
They
That's
say
the
if you do what you love, you don't work
ahead,
a day in
Lisa.
your life.
I want to ask you, you have such an amazing thing with counterculture. Have you thought about franchising or opening other, or maybe not franchising, but opening others throughout Florida?
My son called you, didn't he? He's going to
swear he didn't.
We need to expand this thing, and we need to do a pizza concept. And he's been
That would be so cool.
Yeah, it's that. Well, I love pizza, so it'd be fun.
It doesn't.
We do.
But if you don't eat cheese, unless
I have started looking.
The ones I make
the
cheeses.
plant-based cheeses.
Yeah.
but you make them good. Sometimes you go like, we have a couple of places, and it's like,
They're buying it. Yeah, they're buying
you
it.
can't compare. You know, like I've had homemade ricotta, vegan,
Right.
so delicious. But if you don't know how to make it,
Right.
it's like, or like mozzarella or stuff like that.
Yeah.
We make it.
We make
Lisa
it. Yeah.
makes
I make
Yeah.
the ricotta, I
And
make the
it's-
mozzarella, and I make a smoky cheddar that goes on the portobello French dip. So those are the three
And
that
that's
I
been the
make.
hardest thing for me is giving up cheese.
Yeah, it's very hard, especially
But I
being
have
Italian.
now.
Yeah,
Like
that's
last night, I
great
had a
story.
pizza with a flat, one of our crusts, little bit of pizza sauce, and broccoli rabe and garlic.
Yep.
And that was
No
it.
cheese.
But it was okay.
I have to have the cheese. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, the plant-based cheese.
I don't.
I got to have that creamy. I have to.
No.
I was the one that used to eat the white pizzas back in the day.
Yeah, me too. With the broccoli.
Yep.
So good.
We'll do.
Yeah, we
this
thought we were
pizza.
doing good because it had vegetables.
Yeah,
on it.
right.
It had broccoli. But
Meanwhile-
so you're thinking about this? I don't want to you're thinking about maybe opening some other places?
I have spoken to franchisee companies, and we're looking at it. But you know, I'm going to be 73 next year.
Yeah, I don't know how much we can do.
Yeah, we
but
don't know how much we can do.
if we
but
pass the torch,
we may
you know,
pass the torch and
Yeah.
let the son take it to the next level.
it's not going anywhere. So
No, it's
you
not.
know,
It's
he's
doing.
I mean, the other thing we're doing something.
Yeah.
The other thing with doing something like that, Anthony, as well, and Lisa, is the fact that you've got to split yourself in two. Because if you open up two places, you want to be in both, don't you? And then if you open
everybody
up
wants-
three, you want to be in that one as well.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
the franchise side is interesting because you teach them how to run your restaurant and then you back away. So
Yeah.
that I could see doing, but not yet. Right now, things are right where we'd like them to be, and we are looking at the future. It's funny you
Yeah.
say that because he sent me a text this weekend.
This was your son?
Yes,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
going to be 40 in
He said, "No hurry, but let's start thinking
Yeah,
about
in the
it."
next 3 to 5 years, we need to move. I'm thinking next 3 to 5 years. 3 years, Dad's going to be 75. Let's get
Yeah.
That's
moving.
going to live forever. You're going to live. We're meant to live to, a couple of
Exactly.
100 years old.
Whole food plant-based.
That's right.
We are.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's just put your website up then, because this is
Cool. Oh,
your website, Counterculture. This is counterculturevero.com. And it's lovely. It's only a little place, your restaurant.
Yeah,
isn't
you
it?
see it in the
Only
corner
8
there.
tables,
So
that's
that's
it.
the little restaurant on the corner there. We can have parking in the back, parking in the front. So best parking on beachside.
Yeah.
You can't
It's a
find
beautiful
beachside.
block.
It really is a great little
Yeah.
block.
there we
And
are.
then
Yeah.
we have one of our new things we're adding is Tractor. You guys heard of Tractor Beverage?
No.
No.
You know, I think the most people know it by if you go to Chipotle, they have it. They have their soda machine, and then at the end, they have like 4 different Tractor beverages and a bubbler, what they call it. And so it's a really healthy, plant-based, low
Isn't it a
like pure
probiotic,
sugar,
too?
like only a little bit of cane sugar, probiotic. It's just a really, really good drink that really matches with our cuisine and our mission. And And so that's going to be our newest edition this Friday. I can't even stand it.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm dying. I can't wait. So
we're trying to take it all to the next level.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because if I find myself in Florida in the
you must find yourself in a restaurant.
For sure.
I think you should make a trip out of that.
Yeah, come on over. We're coming to London at some point.
I've got to get there at some point. And
Lisa needs to experience it. It's one of my favorite cities in the world.
My roots. These are my roots. I'm looking
That's
forward
what he said. Yeah, that's what
excited
he
about
said.
that. Really am. But you only watch BritBox, so.
And you also, just one other thing, I was really touched too, because you have your family working there too, right? You have
my sister,
your sister.
Yeah.
Nancy
comes in, and our staff might as well be our kids. They've been with us
8 years.
8 years, 6 years, 5 years.
Yeah,
that says a lot.
Really
same people.
They
It's just amazing,
Yep.
and we have the best staff. They are like our
and
kids.
we force them to go to college and get a degree
Yeah.
and make themselves better, and they've all fallen into that.
Yep,
So
I've
it's
mentored this little
really
girl.
nice,
I've had her now we're going on 3 years that I've been mentoring her, and I asked her to do a rosette one day on a cupcake. I said, "Do you think you could do that? Let me show you." And she's like, "Yeah, I'll do it." She did a perfect rosette. I used to teach at Le Cordon Bleu, and sometimes it would take 2 weeks for these kids to learn how to do a rosette.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, "All right, girl, you are a natural." So little by little, I've been, training her, mentoring her. She loves it. And then I'm like, "You're going to school. You got to go to school."
Yep.
So she's just finishing up. And she's going to be a little pastry chef is what she's
Oh,
gonna
that's so great.
proud of her.
Brandon's been with
Hannah.
us 8 years, and I'm like, "You want to get ahead, go to school."
Yep.
And he did.
Yep, he did.
Right after graduation, high school, he went. Took him 3 years to get his associate.
Oh, he's
but
working.
That's okay.
He's working. That's the
That's not the point is they're inspired by you, to better themselves and become independent and, follow their dreams and not have that slave mentality. You
Right.
know?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
good
Oh, this
kids.
has been so nice. Now we're going to be getting Stu down to Florida.
Awesome.
Yay!
Let's go, Stu.
We will keep you guys posted because he
Oh,
has to. He
super.
experienced a little of Long Island, and Long Beach. So we got to get him down
Once
to
you get a
Florida.
taste of that,
Yeah, that's hard. That's going to be so.
That's
we're going to
great.
spoil you.
This has been such a wonderful experience. Thank you.
Yeah, we
Thank
really.
you.
Really.
Yeah, definitely. That's been a great chat. I just want to say as well, because obviously we've talked about this military operation and the 17, and
Yes.
I'll get your number from Lisa, and I'll send you a couple of bits. We're going to start you off with a little 13-minute video. It's called Joe M, The Plan to Save the World. It's an absolutely amazing 13 minutes, and you will watch that and say, "Tell me more, please."
There you go.
That's
I look
awesome.
forward to
That's
it.
so
Thank
cool.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very
Look
much.
forward.
Okay. And just because of that as well, I always play a little outro video. I've got a little outro video. It's a minute and 40 seconds long, I think. Just Trump saying 17, basically, in honor of you, T, and you opening your 17 restaurants together. I think that's
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
How
there
ironic.
is no such thing as coincidence.
No,
It's all
apparently not.
synchronicity.
That's what I'm learning. You're right. That's
right.
very cool. Man, it's a whole
We all come
manifestation.
into each other's lives for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
100%. Well, we're sending you guys lots of love.
Lots of love
Back
back.
at you.
And hopefully I'll see you. We're planning a trip down to really do house hunting. So I will absolutely, if we're in the
please
area,
do.
you'll
Let
be
us
hearing
know,
from
'cause
us.
We know the whole area.
Yeah, we know the area. We know we have good friends that are brokers.
Yeah.
Whatever you need. Whatever
Okay,
you
great.
need. Awesome.
Definitely.
Brilliant. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everyone in the chat. We love you all. Where we go, when we go all, you'll hear that a bit more. And we're off tomorrow. We'll see you on Thursday, everyone.
There you go.
But
Take care.
Dr. Lee
Thank
Merritt.
you. Bye now.
Bye.
Thank
Take
you.
care. See you later. Bye.
17%. Anybody in here from the 17%? Don't raise your hand. It may be dangerous. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. So I think I might have been in Washington 17 times in my life. 17, 17, and 17, 17, 17, 17. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, I'm 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. I spoke to him 17 minutes ago. I hung up the phone as you're coming in. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. So you had 17 Republicans plus me. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, planning it for 17 years.